up here. Okay, we're recording. I actually, oh my, I actually just ran in the door about 20 minutes ago. Not even 20 minutes ago. I think it was 15 minutes ago. I was at an all-day event today called the Success 360 Success Circle. It's the 9 principles on leading and living an ultimate life. And it was absolutely amazing. And I was asked to actually MC the day. So I got to speak all through the day. I got to keep people on track. And it's really a great segue into my talk tonight. So I literally just ran in the door. I made myself a cup of coffee so I could go ahead and share my coffee mug this evening. And my coffee mug is from New York City. Talk about being in New York and having people believe in themselves. Coming over and landing in New York and in Ellis Island and believing in themselves. So that's why I really thought my mug of New York was a perfect choice for my talk today. So I'm going to start with a little story first. And the story is about me believing in myself and how much of a struggle I have with it still to this day when I'm doing something that is not where the fear creeps in, and I'm not doing it's the fear of the unknown, and I'm not sure how I'm going to show up, or what am I going to look like, or how am I going to do that, and am I actually going to be good enough that anybody could sit and talk and listen to me talk all day, and what are they going to get out of it? And I mean, really, anybody could do what I do. These are all of the head trash talks that go on in my brain. Do you have those? Do you find that you have those negativity creeping in, and that it's really, really hard for you to be connected to what really motivates you and actually believe that you could get something done? So I actually, probably ever since I was a child, would challenge myself on believing that I was good enough to be in that crowd, good enough to have a best friend, good enough to play the fife and drum corps, good enough to put my art in an art show, good enough to speak in front of people, good enough to rise through the ranks between pool secretary and chief operating officer. When I take a step back and I actually look back on everything that I've accomplished, the question I ask myself, and I wonder if you do the same thing, why am I still not believing that I'm good enough? And I really, the more I think about it and the more that I hear other people talk around it and the more I meditate and pray on it and the more that I brain dump around all of the amazing things that I've accomplished, it's starting to sink in. It is actually starting to sink in. So last night I was preparing for today, and all of the same self, that talk track was going on. Pam, really, you're going to be in front of all of these women tomorrow. You're running the whole day. You're probably delivering 4 or 5 hours worth of content in between other speakers and keeping the day flowing. Why or how do you think you're good enough to do that? And then I had to take a step back and tell myself, no, knock it off. You have not done an MC type of position before like that, where you were running the day like that and talking in between all the speakers. But I have spoken in front of people. I do these lives every Friday. So believing in myself helps with my confidence of how I'm showing up. So even though I still was nervous and I had a little bit of butterflies until I got into the day and I saw that it really was no big deal, because part of the believing is understanding and having the blind faith that everything is going to be okay because you're prepared for what you're trying to accomplish, right? As long as we're prepared for it and we're showing up, then if we're showing up as the best version of ourselves, then we need to remember that. So when we plan for something in the future, we could step out of the comfort zone a little bit more. Okay? So I want to have you ask this question, and I don't know. See, I'm on Facebook Live, and I am not sure how to invite people once I'm on here, and I don't think I can. So it's going to be you and I today, okay? So I'm going to just go over with you 5 positive ways that you could start believing in yourself. So before I get started on those 5 ways, when I decided that I was going to leave my career of 28 years in the insurance industry, I had to believe in myself that the next step in my life was going to be what I needed to do. And in order to do that, I had to have a plan. I had to be showing up and be consistent. Because if I had a plan and I was showing up, then I could believe that everything was going to go exactly the way it was supposed to go. That's the key, is understanding that we may believe that something should be one way, but it ends up being a different way, and that's okay. But believing in ourselves is so important, okay? So the five positive ways to believe in ourselves. Number 1, and talked about this. Examine what you're thinking. What are you thinking? What are you connecting with? Are you thinking negative thoughts around whatever you want to do? Are you thinking, or you saying to yourself, yeah, I could do this? That's the number 1 step in believing in yourself. Letting yourself know that you could do that. Encourage yourself, because we should be our biggest champion. So examine what you're thinking. If you're thinking negative thoughts, then we're going to have negative responses. Hello to anybody who just joined in. Give me a hi or a thumbs up to let me know that you're here. We're talking about 5 positive ways we could turn things around and start believing in ourselves. And number 1 is examining what we're thinking. Number 2, excuse me, is taking small steps. Taking small steps. We don't have to jump into something. Sometimes if we jump in too fast or too quickly, it gets overwhelming, and we lose that momentum we want to have in believing that we could actually achieve this. So small steps. Number 3 goes back to the mindset, goes back to thinking positive thoughts. I had mentioned this today during the day at that talk that I was giving, and at the event that I was at today, about changing the mindset. Allowing ourselves to understand that our brain has the 2 functions, and if we tell our brain to do something, it's going to take action on it. So if we are telling our brain that we can't do something, then we're not going to be able to do that. So taking action in a positive way to set the mindset in order for us to believe in ourselves, okay? I really think that being an entrepreneur has allowed me to understand what it means to believe in myself, more so than anything else that I've ever done. Because I am out there selling of who I am, right? And I have to believe that I am going to be able to change professional women and female entrepreneurs' lives in what they do and how they show up. That's the reason why I became a productivity coach, to help that. But I have to believe that I have the tools to actually do that. And that doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen just once that I tell myself that. It's the mindset shift around that, to constantly telling myself or reaffirming that, yes, yes, I could do this. So when you're thinking of something that you don't think that you'll be able to do, say it's a leap of faith to changing careers, if you have the right mindset and you start doing the small steps of planning, then you can start believing in yourself. Another area that I think really comes up for me is believing that I'm a good mom, right? Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel that maybe your actions or what you're saying might not be the right for your children? You have to believe that you're giving the right tools and that you're showing up as the best version of a parent or a mom that you can, and believe that you're giving the best that you can to them, okay? There's so many different areas that we could really pick apart, and when we start picking them apart, that's when we start losing our confidence. Number 4 is go for it. Just go for it. Life is hi there, life is just way too short, right? It's just too short. And if we move forward, then we take that opportunity to believe that we actually could do that. It's putting one step in front of each other to make it happen. That's where it comes. So the consistency of small steps is really important. And then number 5, the 5th tip in believing in yourself is going back to the mindset, reining in your thoughts, reining in the outside chatter that might be going on, right? Reining in the people that you might be surrounding yourself with. Creating a dream team of people is going to help you stay more grounded in your beliefs. If you have people in your life that are telling you that you can't do something, and they tell you that over and over and over again, what's going to end up happening? Are you going to start believing that? Because that's what they told you. So surrounding yourself with the right people that are going to elevate your thought process, elevate your life, is what is going to change the dynamics inside your world. Okay? So truly, hang tight, believe in anything that you could believe in. It's so important to have dreams. So you could dream it, believe it, and then you'll achieve it. Okay? So that's what I have today. The 5 tips on believing in yourself, 5 positive ways. Examine how you're thinking. Take small steps. Change your mindset. Go for it. Why not? And then rein in the people that you're surrounding and fill your life with positivity. My name is Pam Drzwicki, and I'm a productivity coach, and I love coming here every Friday to give you tips on how to plan better for your life, your business, or your career. And I usually come at noon, but today I was at an all-day conference, and when I left today, the host gave me such a beautiful gift. So my logos are butterflies, and she gave me this beautiful necklace as a thank you for being and sharing the day today with her. So I believe that it's just magical to be surrounded by amazing women all of the time. Please go out to my website. I have an amazing free resources for you to start believing in yourself. One of them is, excuse me, downloading your roadmap to sanity. And just go to powerful-purpose.com/resources. And hi, Lord, I am so sorry. I started coughing here. Go out there and you will receive your roadmap to sanity. And once you start aligning yourself with your roadmap, because it allows you the time to pick that power word in the middle. Thanks for the hearts. The power word in the middle of that roadmap that will ground you in your belief And then there's different areas of your life. Pick the one thing that you believe is truly, truly going to change your life. Okay? So you take those 5 steps that I went over with you, the 5 tips that I went over with you, along with your roadmap to sanity. And I put that in the comments field, powerful-purpose.com/resources. And then all of a sudden, you'll start getting the tools that are necessary to help you start believing in yourself. Because we have to believe in ourselves before anybody else can. Have a dynamite weekend. God bless. And until next time, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.